there is no other system, single weapon system, that can deliver the same kind of signal, message, flexibility. You can deploy them, you can move them around, you can keep them on station without having to be dependent on, you're not totally independent from, but not be dependent on host nations, other people's air bases, that sort of thing, in order to support them. They are an independent, sovereign ability to respond. So all of those things together, I think, make for the continued relevance of aircraft carriers as a first responder to crisis for those who have them. Because of the potency of carriers in being able to deliver power at great range, those who out to challenge that capability have been looking at various ways of neutralizing aircraft carriers. And then the Chinese perhaps have gone furthest and invested most in aircraft carrier killer capabilities. What the Chinese have done is basically produce these ballistic missiles with very long range. So they are very much in the minds of the US Navy as they think about how to deal with that. But I think the key is to develop the air power on board the carriers, not just with longer range aircraft, but also the use of uncrewed systems in the future, which can have much longer range and therefore allow the ships, at least in the initial stages, to stay out of harm's way as much as possible. They have the capacity to take up to 3 squadrons, 36 to 40, depending on how you count, F-35s, as well as supporting helicopters to do airborne early warning and anti-submarine warfare. Then nowhere near that capability. The original plan was for 138 F-35s altogether for the UK. At the moment, the commitment in terms of actual orders is 48. So it's going to be a challenge for a long time in being able regularly to put credible numbers of aircraft on both these ships, or at least one at a time, for some time to come. It's going to stretch the US Navy, having deployed these 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East now. That will, extract a cost in terms of readiness down the track. So that's why it's actually getting more important for the United States that allies like the United Kingdom, like France, potentially like South Korea in the future, can play at that level in terms of capability to fill gaps in other areas, or to bolster up US capabilities when a crisis occurs.